Hello friends, today we are going to start with yet another quote in mathematics. It says, the best angle from which to approach any problem is the triangle. So let's get started. We're going to do a game which I call Angle Tangle. So this topic is related to angles. So the main objectives here include making the students practice alternate, corresponding, complementary, adjacent and vertically opposite angles. So the things that students should know beforehand will be a superficial concept of angles. So this game is usually emphasized on practicing the angles. So let's get started. So we need a dice, a normal dice, and we need to test these figures in the 6 faces of the dice. So the dice will contain the number marked from 1 to 6, but they will contain these things on the faces. So the faces each includes the name and the angles figure, and in one face there is also the option which says free go. That means the user or the player can play as his choice. So I created this box. So it seems like a tangle thread and board, so I call it the Angle Tangle. So let's directly play the game and you will understand the rules. So the first player will play the dice. As we have already discussed, the dice has got 6 faces, and if he gets the alternate, then he will play the alternate. So in this case he will play this piece into here. As you see, since as you can see, these two are the parallel lines, and hence the angle made in this side and this side will be alternate angle. So the player plays it over here. So the turn goes to this person. So he plays the dice and gets corresponding. So in here what you can see is, consider these two as parallel lines. Then as you can see, this angle and this angle is corresponding, but he cannot play this move because this triangle and this triangle are not touching each other. So he cannot jump one triangle to go to another triangle, so he will just stay on the same state as previous one. So the turn goes to this person then. So there comes vertically opposite angle. Since there is no vertically opposite angle over here, so he will retry again. So the turn goes to the girl over here. It says adjacent angle. So as we see, adjacent is the angle that's touching this angle, so this piece will go to this angle. Then it continues. So the first player gets vertically opposite angle. So as you can see, considering this line and this line, so these two angles are vertically opposite, so this piece will go to this direction. Then again, player to place its alternate. As you can see, since these two are parallel lines and this is the transversal, so these two angles are alternate angles, hence the piece will go to this angle. Then again this player will play. Here comes free go, so he can move this piece to any angle of the touching triangle. So he will move to this angle. Again the turn of this player comes. It says complementary. So what actually complementary angle is? Two complementary angles add up to give 90 degrees. Since this is a square and hence the bisectors bisect at making an angle of 90 degrees, hence this angle and these angles are complementary. So we will move the piece over here. So it again continues. He gets corresponding angle. Now what he can do is, since this and this is a parallel line and this can be considered as a transversal, hence this angle is corresponding, and since this triangle and this triangle are touching to each other, so he can move this piece over here. So he will move the piece over here, and the player that will move the piece to this central square will be the winner at first. So this player wins the game. So this is just a simple game. To make it more interesting, we can do some improvements, like we can make a bigger board if we have more time to play with the students. And here the co-interior angles is not included, so you can include the co-interior angles also. And since this is taken like an individual game, so you can make two pairs instead of working individually. For example, this player and this player can work in a pair to play, and this player and this player can work in a pair, and it also enhances a group work and makes them study in pair. Suppose this student is weak in studies and C can help him to know about the angles and move a correct step for the pieces. And also you can make exchange of piece rule. For example, the target of this person can be to move this piece from here to the other side, and the target of this person over here is to move this piece to the other side. And when both the players complete their pieces to move in the opposite corners, then this group or the pair as a whole will win. So you have your own freedom to make this game interesting. So thanks for watching and keep inspiring students.